No one told the human colonies about the bounty. Not the governments, not the corporations, and definitely not the alien mercenary named Velra, who landed on Earth for one reason: to find the treasure. But the treasure wasn't gold. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't even a crystal. It was something far stranger and much more valuable. Something only a human male carried, and Velra had no idea what she was really about to discover. The war started quietly. At first, it was just small raids on cargo ships. Then labs went silent. Then the sky cracked open with alien drop pods. Earth thought it was under attack. But they were wrong. This wasn't war. It was a harvest. Velra didn't care about politics. She wasn't loyal to any flag. She was a soldier of fortune, purple-skinned, silver-eyed, armed with pulse blades and a reputation across 7 sectors. Her mission: find the human carrying genetic singularity essence and bring him back, alive. That's all her contract said. She didn't need to know what it meant. She just needed her payday. She found him in a ruined outpost, bare-chested, bruised, and half-conscious after defending the last evac shuttle. His name? Jason Holt, just a mechanic, or so he thought. She stunned him easily, tied him up, gagged him, standard procedure. But as she scanned his body with her alien tech, the results came in, and she froze. The scanner blinked red, then gold. Essence match. 99.99% purity, host viable, full sequence active. Velra blinked. What the hell are you, human? Jason grunted, still gagged, glaring at her with tired eyes. She picked up the small vial marked Human Essence Halo Tier from her belt. She had taken dozens of samples before. None of them glowed like this. None of them made her nervous. This one, it made her smile. And that scared her. Velra looked at the human again. A mechanic. A nobody. But now, a galaxy-level asset. I came for treasure, she whispered. And it's literally between your legs. Jason groaned. She grinned. But outside, something stirred. Other mercenaries. Other hunters. They had followed her trail and they wanted her prize. She looked back at Jason. Looks like I've got work to do. She activated her cloaking field and grabbed her plasma pistol. I hate babysitting. The sun dipped low over the ruined outpost, casting long shadows across the cracked floor. Inside, Velra paced in silence, her boots tapping lightly. Her hand rested on the holster of her plasma pistol. Jason Holt, still tied to a chair, watched her with narrowed eyes. He tried to speak through the gag again, muffled and annoyed. Velra didn't look at him. Her focus was on the scanner in her hand. It was beeping faster now. Company? She muttered. She walked to the window and tapped her visor. A red outline flickered across her view. 3 ships had landed nearby. Not military. Mercenary class. She clenched her jaw. Fast response. 2. Fast. That meant only one thing. Someone else knew about Jason. And that meant the bounty was no longer quiet. She turned back to him. You're worth more than I thought, human. Jason gave her a muffled grunt that clearly translated to, Untie me, you crazy alien. She smirked. You'll thank me later. Outside, dust rose as 3 alien mercenaries stalked toward the outpost, tall, armored, and fully armed. Velra recognized their colors, the Quran pack, ruthless, dirty, and always ready to steal a job. Her visor buzzed with incoming transmission. Velra, we know what you found. Hand him over, and we'll let you walk. She tapped her ear calmly. I don't share. The signal ended. She walked over to Jason, crouched, and looked him in the eyes. Listen, you don't know what you are. But right now, you're the most wanted thing in 5-star systems. Jason's brows shot up. She cut the rope from his feet but kept his hands bound. Time to move. She pressed a button on her belt. A trapdoor opened beneath the outpost floor, an old smuggler tunnel. She shoved Jason down first. Go! He landed with a thud and a grunt. Velra dropped after him just as plasma fire exploded through the wall above. They ran through the narrow tunnel, feet pounding. Jason mumbled something through the gag. She sighed and yanked it off mid-run. "Are you insane?" he gasped. "What do they want from me?" Velra didn't answer. Not yet. Behind them, the Quran mercs dropped into the tunnel and gave chase. One shouted, "She can't run far. The host belongs to us." Jason's eyes widened. "Host? What does that mean?" Velra grabbed his arm, pulling him faster. "It means you're not just carrying something rare. You are something rare." They burst through the tunnel, exit into a half-buried transport ship. Velra sealed the hatch and slammed her hand on the control panel. The engines roared to life. Jason dropped into the co-pilot seat, panting. He looked at her. "I was just fixing power lines yesterday. Now I'm being hunted like treasure?" Velra looked at him, serious now. "You are treasure." The ship lifted off as the mercs fired below. Too late. They were gone. For now. But Velra knew they'd be back. She glanced at Jason. "They want what's between your legs." He blinked. "What?" She grinned. "Relax. I meant your genetics." He slumped back. "That's not helping." She sat back in the pilot seat, eyes narrowed. There were more coming, and she still didn't know why this human was so valuable. But she intended to find out, before the galaxy tore itself apart over one man. The ship flew through silent space, leaving the broken colony behind. Inside, Velra adjusted the ship's course toward a hidden moon base. Her jaw was tight. Her mind wasn't. She couldn't stop thinking about the scan results. Humans weren't supposed to carry Halo-tier essence, but Jason did. And now she needed answers. Jason sat in the co-pilot seat, arms still bound. He watched her work, annoyed and confused. "Are you ever going to tell me what's going on?" he asked. Velra didn't answer. He groaned. "You kidnapped me, tied me up, got me shot at. I deserve to know something." She sighed and turned to him. "You're carrying something inside your DNA, something ancient, something powerful." Jason blinked. "I'm a power line mechanic." "Not anymore." She stood and walked over to a compartment, pulled out a glowing orb. It hovered in her hand like a small sun. "This is a genetic decoder," she said. "It'll read your essence. What makes you... you." Jason leaned back. "Please don't. Stick that in me." She smirked. "It's not a probe." She held it to his chest. The orb pulsed blue, then gold, then pure white. It spoke in a robotic voice. "Confirmed. Male human. Halo tier. Prime fertility. Gene key. Unlocked." Jason stared. "Fertility?" Velra's smile vanished. "That's what this is about," she muttered. Jason raised an eyebrow. "Wait, is this a mating thing?" "No," she snapped. "Well, not exactly." He groaned again. "Why is it always about mating with aliens?" Velra turned away, face suddenly tense, because she knew the truth. Some alien empires were dying, and they would kill for a compatible male, especially one like him. The ship beeped, warning them. Another vessel was following. Velra jumped back into the pilot seat. Jason shouted, "Can you drop me off somewhere normal, like a bar, or a boring moon? No time," she shouted, pulling them into a dive. The enemy ship fired, barely missing them. Velra cursed. "They're tracking your genetic signature." Jason blinked. "What? My body has a tracking code?" She nodded. "You're basically a walking gold mine." They twisted through asteroid fields, dodging laser blasts. Jason braced for impact. But Velra was fast, too fast. She spun the ship into a dead crater on a nearby moon and vanished from sensors. The enemy flew past. They were safe, for now. Inside the ship, silence returned. Velra stood slowly. Jason looked at her, exhausted. "What happens now?" he asked. She looked down, her voice softened. "Now, I protect you." He frowned. "Why?" She hesitated, then said softly, "Because I think I understand why your kind is special. You care, even when you don't understand." He smiled just a little, but before either of them could say more, the ship's lights flickered red. Another signal was coming, but this one wasn't hostile. It was from someone asking to trade, someone offering information, someone who knew why Jason mattered, and wanted to make a deal. The message played on repeat. "Velra of Varnath, I know what you carry. Come to Point Station 7. No weapons, no games. In return, I will tell you everything." The voice was dry, like smoke through steel. Calm. And dangerous. Velra stared at the signal in silence. Jason broke it. "Who's that?" She didn't look at him. An information trader. Old, smart, and always 3 steps ahead. Jason narrowed his eyes. "Can we trust him?" Velra finally looked at him. "No." The ship touched down on Point Station 7, an abandoned fuel station orbiting a gas giant. Dark, silent, too quiet. Velra tucked a small plasma blade under her sleeve. Jason noticed. "I thought it was no weapons," she smiled. "I lie." Inside the station, lights flickered. The walls were old and rusted. They entered a main hall, empty except for one figure waiting near a console. He looked alien, but not like the others. He had no face. Only shifting, light under a clear visor. A being made of liquid data. "I am Marith, keeper of forgotten truths," the voice said. Velra stepped forward. "Tell me why this human is being hunted." Marith raised a hand. A hologram burst to life. The image showed ancient alien queens, dying, bloodlines lost, empires collapsing. Then it zoomed to Earth. "To survive," Marith said, "they need one thing, a fertile bondmate. Their science failed. But nature," he pointed to Jason, "has not." Jason blinked. "Wait, are you saying—" "Yes," Marith said. "Your genes are the perfect seed." Velra looked shocked but not surprised. Marith continued, "There are at least 9 races hunting you. Some want to use you, others want to destroy you before rivals get you." Jason stepped back. "I didn't ask for any of this." "No," Marith said, "but now you must choose." Velra spoke up. "What do you want in return for this info?" Marith's glowing eyes turned toward her. "I want the child, if one is ever made." Silence. Jason's jaw dropped. "What?" Velra's hand flew to her blade. "No," Marith chuckled. "Then we are done." Suddenly, alarms echoed across the station. Ships were approaching. Too many. Marith turned toward the darkness. "They found you. Choose fast." Velra grabbed Jason's arm and ran back to the ship. As the station shook with the first blasts, Jason shouted, "Why are they so obsessed with me?" Velra shouted back, "Because you can restart bloodlines that were extinct for centuries." Jason blinked. "That's way too much pressure." They boarded the ship as laser fire tore through the docking bay. Velra roared the engines to life. Jason, breathless, looked at her. "Are you going to sell me too?" She didn't answer, just said softly, "No one's taking you." But in her heart, Velra was asking herself a new question. Why did she care so much? The ship drifted in quiet space, just beyond the war zone. Velra sat on the floor, leaning against the wall, staring at a cracked monitor. Her face was calm, but her mind was full of questions. Jason sat across from her, legs stretched out, shirt torn, still covered in bruises. But now he was silent too, not angry, not afraid, just confused. "I didn't sign up for this," he finally said. Velra looked up. "I know," he sighed. "One day I was fixing power lines. Next day I'm space treasure with prime genetics. What does that even mean?" Velra smirked faintly. "It means a lot of powerful women want you." He blinked. "Wow. This would have sounded cooler if it didn't feel like kidnapping." She chuckled. "Fair." Jason leaned his head back. "What about you?" he asked. "Why didn't you hand me over for credits?" She didn't answer right away. Then softly, "Because I've hunted bounties for years. Never cared who I hurt. But then I met you and you looked me in the eye, no hate, no fear, just confusion and kindness." Jason smiled a little. "I was mostly thinking about how weird your eyes are." She smiled back. Still better than screams. A quiet moment passed between them. Real, human, or something close. Suddenly, warning lights flashed red. Velra jumped up. "No, not here. Not now." She ran to the cockpit. Jason followed. An enemy ship was decloaking right above them. "No weapons on that one," Velra said. "Just one life form." Jason squinted. "A messenger?" Velra's face darkened. "No. A claimant." Jason blinked. "What's that?" Velra turned. "A female alien who believes you belong to her. The enemy ship sent a message. Human male. You have been marked by the House of Sarathi. Surrender peacefully and fulfill your mating duties." Jason's eyes widened. "What the hell?" Velra growled, slamming a fist into the console. "She's using royal claim law. She thinks she has the right to take you, and she'll fight for it." Jason backed up. "I'm not ready to be anyone's royal breeding gift." Velra grabbed her pulse blade. "Then stay behind me." The enemy ship docked. Velra stood tall at the door. Jason stood behind her, silent, nervous, but trusting her. The door hissed open, and there she was, a Sarathi warrior princess, tall, glowing red skin, golden armor, and eyes locked on Jason. "I claim the male," she said. Velra didn't move. Jason held his breath. Then Velra said, "No, he's mine." Everyone froze. Jason's eyes widened. "Wait, what?" Velra didn't look back. But inside, something was changing. This wasn't just a job anymore. It never was. The air inside the ship turned heavy. The Sarathi princess stepped forward, her voice like thunder wrapped in silk. "You say the human is yours," she said, glaring at Velra. "Then you must fight for him." Jason blinked. "Can I vote no fighting?" No one listened. Velra stepped forward. "I accept the challenge." Jason grabbed her arm. "Wait, you don't have to do this." Velra didn't look at him. "Yes, I do." Outside the ship, the two warriors stood under the pale moonlight of the cratered planet. The rules were simple, one-on-one. No weapons, no death. The winner claims the bond. Jason watched nervously from the ramp. He had no idea what claims the bond meant exactly, but it sounded way too serious. The Sarathi moved first, fast and powerful. Velra dodged the first strike, barely missing a crushing blow. Then she countered, sweeping the princess's legs and flipping her to the ground. But the Sarathi rolled back to her feet, unfazed. "You're strong," she said, "but do you even love him?" Velra's expression didn't change, but her heart skipped. They clashed again. Kicks, throws, slams. Dust flew. Jason watched in awe. Not just because of the fight, but because of Velra. He had never seen anyone fight so hard. For him. The fight lasted minutes. Then finally, Velra landed a clean strike to the Sarathi's chest, knocking her down and holding her throat. "I win," she said. The princess coughed, breathing heavy. And then, shockingly, she smiled. "You do care," she whispered. "Protect him or others will come." Then she vanished, teleporting away in a shimmer of red light. Back inside the ship, Jason looked at Velra. She was bruised, bleeding, but calm. He sat beside her. "Why?" he asked. "Because you're not just some mission anymore," she said, softly. "You're different. You make me feel something I thought I lost." Jason nodded slowly. He didn't fully understand it yet. But somehow, he felt it too. Outside the ship, unseen in the darkness, a massive vessel drifted closer. No signal, no sound, just an ancient symbol on its hull. The Empress of the Forgotten Races, and she had one message. "Bring the human, or we will take him." Velra stared out the window of her ship. The massive alien vessel now filled the sky, silent and cold like a ghost made of metal. Its symbol, the mark of the Empress of the Forgotten Races, glowed like a threat. Jason stood behind her, arms crossed. So, they sent the big one. Velra didn't turn. She's not just big, she's ancient, dangerous, and she won't ask twice. Jason raised an eyebrow. Why me? Why is everyone treating me like I'm some kind of last hope? Velra turned slowly, her voice low. Because you are. A transmission came through. The Empress herself. She didn't look like a normal alien. Her face was masked with gold. Her voice echoed with power. Human male, you carry what we lost. Thousands of years ago. The gift of Genesis, the last true spark. Join us, our people will live again. Jason took a shaky breath. And if I say no, then we take you. And burn everything that stands in our way. The call ended. Silence filled the ship. Jason turned to Velra. What do I do? Velra stepped forward. Whatever you choose. I'll stand with you. Jason looked into her, eyes bright silver fearless, then he smiled softly. I'm tired of being cargo. He walked to the console. Press the comm. This is Jason Holt, human male. Target of your obsession, the Empress replied, amused. You accept? Jason smirked. No. Explain. I'm choosing who I want to help, and who I want to be with. He looked at Velra. She risked everything for me. She didn't treat me like a prize. She treated me like a person. Velra blinked, slowly. Then, smiled. Jason continued. If you want war, come, but I'm staying with her. Outside, the massive ship began to shift. Weapons warmed, engines glowed. Velra stood beside Jason. Get ready? Jason cracked his knuckles. What now? Velra tapped her wrist. The ship's hidden weapons deployed. Now we show them why humans aren't just treasure. Before the Empress could fire, a dozen resistance ships uncloaked around them. Velra's old allies answering her call. They outnumbered the Empress. For the first time, she hesitated. Then the voice returned. You are bold, human, and she is loyal. Perhaps this is enough. The ship turned and vanished. Silence returned. Jason collapsed into the co-pilot seat. Velra sat beside him. They didn't speak for a moment. Then he looked at her and grinned. So, do I still have a bounty on my head? Velra smirked. Probably. Jason shrugged. Worth it? She looked at him, voice soft now. You still want to go back to fixing power lines? He laughed. No. I think I found a better job. Staying alive with you.